Welcome to From Nine to Mom's first book recap.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, we're here finally to discuss and dive into the book that separated viewers between love and hate. And I'm just excited that you read a whole book, to be honest.
I think that's truly the celebration here is that I finished.
I think you guys should be proud of Katie. Let's give her like a quiet round of applause. We just got the kids to bed, so that's why we're doing that.
Poor Daisy. You might hear poor Daisy.
Yeah, if you hear screaming, I swear my kids are safe. But every month, I think, now that we're sitting here, we're like, I wish we could do this together every single month in real life. I've got my wine. I got my setup like with this.
I'm going to awkwardly hold our microphone for today.
Yeah, it's great. But we're going to introduce a scale. So should we do 1 to 5?
The rating, yes.
Right, like a 1 to 5 scale?
1 to 5, I think.
Like Goodreads, basically.
Is that what Goodreads is? Okay, then that makes sense.
So I think we should do like a 1 to 5 scale. We'll ask you guys to give your rating too. I've already thought about my rating. So I'm curious to see what your rating is.
I feel like I'm going to be really hard on this book because I haven't read books ever.
Either you'd be really hard or you'd overscore, I feel like.
Well, so I feel like I'm going to underscore.
Okay, go for it. What is it?
I'm going to rate it a 2.
Wow. Okay. And why?
I think we get into it, but what's your score?
I'd say a 3.5.
3. Okay, half scores are allowed.
I would. This is not one bite, you're done. Like
you can do.
Yeah, we can do points. Okay.
Yeah. I think so. Mine's a rookie.
Oh yeah, I forget. He always does that. He'll be like 0.796.
You can't do like an even number.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna rate it low. It took me forever to get into it. I think anyone that's in our group on Facebook, like I have been complaining about it, and I really struggled at the beginning. And
you're not alone.
It affected my mood.
I struggled at the beginning too. I think because it was such a slow start. It feels like, January, we keep joking that it was like a decade. January's a decade. And then we chose a book where like the first chapter, the first day felt like a decade. And it was a dark decade, just like January.
She's like, I'm going to fucking kill myself. Like, what? And then I'm like, people are like raving about this book. And I'm like, what is wrong with everyone that they like this book?
And
I don't understand.
Wanted to be like, I wasn't super optimistic starting it. Yeah. The only thing that gave me hope was my girlfriend told me to keep reading, as I said. Yeah. And I would say, like, I think I've read like 8 books in January, maybe. But I listened to half of them. So let me be fair. Like, I do Audible when I'm like driving and then I read the rest.
Yep.
And I feel like this wasn't my favorite book I've read so far. Yeah, I think the message, like, just about there are going to be dark times. And I think we've all had dark times in our life. But there's like, those times teach you how to appreciate like the joys. The other thing I really liked, because I'm on this kick right now, is kind of, you guys are going to hear me. I'm sorry. Like, you're going to kill me. Katie already wants to kill me. She's been with me for less than 12 hours. Like the let them theory. Like, she's kind of just
I'm into that.
Like, she's like, fuck this. I want to live my life for me. I'm going to say what I want to say. Right. And that's how she found happiness, was like in doing what she wanted to do and saying what she felt and being true to her, like, for the first time, what she really needed. Yeah.
I think I think I couldn't get past that first part of the book, and then like carried me through like that. I thought it was going to be depressing, and then I was just like, okay, this is going to be predictable. She's going to end up with Gary.
Definitely was predictable.
And I was like that, and then I was annoyed at the end that like
it wasn't a final. Like, sorry if you're listening to this after. You should not be listening to this after, but like. Until you finish, but a final conclusion. I was frustrated with that. Like, I was waiting for the happy ever after.
Felt like it. So like the beginning of the week, everything went so like 100 pages a day, and then all of a sudden, like, boom, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, like it was like like so fast. And
it did.
I was like, wait, like these are the parts I would have rather you elaborated on, like when Matt came.
And they hooked up, like,
and then it was like, that was like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And like, then it was like, oh, boom, like, no, she's really like scary, but then she doesn't go back to Matt because she thinks she's gonna get Gary, and then she has no, like, I just didn't.
Yeah, I think it was. Did you ever see the movie The Breakup with Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston? The worst movie of all time, because the messaging is just like, life sucks. You break up sometimes. There's hope, and then it's dead.
Right.
It kind of like. That movie sucked for that reason, even though there were good parts to it. And I think that's kind of how I felt about this book. Like, when he's like, come on the kick drum, Gary, like in the breakup, like that is one of my favorite scenes in movie history, but I hate that movie. Like the holistic part of the movie. So like, but that part was so funny. And that's how I felt about like, Lick It Up Like a Priest. Like, I've been trying to find, why did I think it was so funny? I was crying laughing, telling Jordan.
I think you had given me some like the points. Like there's some funny parts.
Yeah. They're not that funny. I mean, the Look It Up, I've been trying to find a reason to say Look It Up Like a Priest like for 2 weeks now. And then I really liked the panda sex.
Yeah, like some of it, the comedy, like that part, I guess it just felt unnatural to me that it was in this book. This book wasn't funny.
I think that's the point though, like that's the point of it. Like I think it's not funny, but it is funny. Like it's like those awkward moments, like how funny, but she learned something. Like the pandas watching panda porn, like me and Jordan were dying. I was like, the panda porn.
It was funny, but like it just seemed unplaced for me.
What about the car? Like the guy doing the car?
Oh my god!
Like,
and then I was getting annoyed with what's her name?
The bride.
The bride, because I'm like,
she was kind of annoying.
I'm like,
but I also think that was like the point. She really wasn't stuck up. She was unhappy, and she was masking her and I think that's like a lesson for all of us, especially you and I. Like we work in the world of social media, and it's like everybody's lives are perfect. Everyone posts these wonderful things, and you only see the exterior. And she was like broken inside. She was in love with his brother. She's like miserable. She did not want to be with him, but she was so scared to like this is the perfect guy.
Yeah. And then with her dad,
with her dad passing and paying.
Too. Yeah, I think it's just I don't know. Like overall, like I'm hopeful there's better books. I guess
they're definitely better books.
But this comes so highly recommended. Like it was on Jenna Bush's list of books. It's like I've actually seen like 2 other book clubs that this was their January book as well.
Yeah, this was a very, very highly ranked choice. Yeah. But I think that if this was your first book into reading after a while, like it wasn't your typical rom-com or your typical mystery thriller or your typical like lesson learned book. It was very like in and out, which I feel like if you've been reading for a while, like for me, I kind of liked the surprising like laughter in a serious moment, or sometimes the books are like, okay, how many more times can they say like he touched my sex? Like you'll know in this next book that we're reading, like you're going to get to a point where you're like blushing, like turn like I start like, we haven't announced the book. Oh, we haven't announced the book yet. We'll announce it after that. But like it depends on what like genre you're reading, and this didn't fill a genre per se. It was more like a realistic like life story to me. Like this.
Yeah, I guess it was like kind of real. Like this could happen. Like
I guess it could happen to somewhere.
Yeah,
not necessarily the wedding part, but all the stuff surrounding it, like getting stuck in a marriage where you're like unhappy, or marrying someone. Yeah, the circumstances, or the sister who was trying to like get a better sex life with her husband, and they're just sending dirt. Like that was hilarious.
Yeah, even like the daughter.
Yes, Juice.
Yeah, like she was sweet in it, and like it was nice to see her and Phoebe connect like on that, because like Phoebe I did feel for her. You know, like she wants that like motherly role, and that's why like they set you up to think that she's gonna end up with Gary.
Well, I think in our head, I think that they do it. Like in my head, they ended up together.
Right. I also like because I haven't read books in forever. I'm like trying to picture these people. Any books I have read have turned into movies, so I've been able to put pictures to it. And then like with books, I'm like trying to picture.
That's the best part. What do you think Phoebe looked like?
I don't know. Like
I picture her with like, even though I know they described her in the book, I cannot remember to save my life. Like darker hair, long hair.
Yes, definitely brunette. Like long hair,
thin, like good body.
Didn't somebody like do something, or she was like washing her hair?
I can't remember. Then I picture like.
I picture her like skinny like that, but then like Gary, like the gray hair.
Yes.
Like you picture him as like a little more older.
Sexy older guy.
Yeah.
But like definitely older. Right. Like, not to say like my dad's sexy, but like I'm like, oh, like a good looking, like older man, maybe with less of like a papa belly yet. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. The worst part about this is she's 40. Okay, I turned 40 in 2 years. Like not even a year, in like a couple days. So like I'm talking about this woman, like she is ancient, and she's not even, she's 40. So like that's the crazy part. Like so you picture these characters differently, but she could be any one of my friends. She could be me.
Right. Yeah, it is like, but it's also like weird to think that. I guess that's why it's like that's a real story. Like not that it's gonna happen. Hopefully
it's not happening to anyone we know.
But yeah, these are. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but.
I mean, I think your assessment
through it, like
I hope that the next one you like
Yeah.
We're going to be diving into different genres for Katie. We got to figure out what Katie's genre
I don't know what it
is.
Like, it's going to be we're going to have to try a bunch of different things. So hopefully some of you will come along for the ride with all of them and help us digest, because we want to hear your guys' ratings too, because I want to know, like, am I off thinking it's like, I've seen some of the reviews on the book of like, they're amazing. Like, people are like, it's amazing, like the best book. And I'm like,
I think I've heard mixed reviews at this point. Like, especially with the people we were reading with, I feel like people were like, well,
I need to get, so my Amazon account is hooked up to Ryan's Goodreads. So I need to he's like, just put yours on there. Like, it's fine. And I was like, well, what if I get famous for reading books? And
yeah, because you're now like an avid reader.
Yeah. Like, I've read a whole book. Like,
hello. People will probably relate to that because they're like, I don't like to read either.
Both of ours on
Ryan's trying to take credit for what you do. Ryan, give it up. We know you read sci-fi in your bedroom. Like, leave it alone.
So he's reading, oh my God, what's the most popular series? The new book that just came out, Next Storm or whatever.
Wait, he's reading?
He didn't know
that he's reading fairy porn. He's reading little lady sexy porn. It's the same lady who wrote ACOTAR, right? Okay, so Sarah Maas?
What's the first book?
Is it Sarah Maas that writes this? What's it called? Ryan did this on purpose. He just saw all these girls talking about it and blushing. He's like, I'm going to pick it up. Yeah, no, he's going to be raw. Like, what's Onyx Storm, right?
Okay, but it's that series, right?
Okay, this isn't Sarah Maas, but it is like it's Rebecca Yaros. But it's a very similar, hold on, I'm going to go on Goodreads and I'm going to read, this is not our book of the month, but after Ryan reads it, it might be, oh man, my thing, because
you're not logged in.
Yes.
Danielle got a new phone, guys.
And nothing is connected. It's been a rough day. But I'm logging in now. No, I can't. I had to keep my old phone. I'm carrying it around in my purse for TikTok like a psycho. All right. Oh, wait. It's on my friend's.
Okay, but he's not reading that one. It's the first of the series.
Okay, so what's the first of the series? Oh, this was not a great this is the Empyrean number 3. Mm-hmm. So
it's whatever the first one is.
Let's see.
I'm almost positive he's going to be so mad if I'm wrong.
Empyrean?
Iron Flame. That sounds familiar.
That's Sarah Maas, though.
He was telling me it was like.
Oh no, it is. He's right. It's dragons, fairies. Like, I'm pretty sure this is like fairy porn, just like ACOTAR. Enter the brutal and elite world of. Yeah, this is the book description. Okay. Enter the brutal and elite world of a war college for dragon riders. Wait. 20-year-old Violet Sorngal was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, living a quiet life among books and history. Now the commanding general, also known as her tough as Talon's mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of candidates striving to become the elite of Navarre, dragon riders. When you're smaller than everyone else, your body is brittle, death is only a heartbeat away, because dragons don't bond to fragile humans. They incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her just for being her mother's daughter, like Xaden Royerson, the most powerful and ruthless wing leader. I'm guessing she screws him. In the Riders Quadrant. She'll need every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet, with every day that passes, the war outside grows more deadly. The kingdom's protective wards are falling, and the death toll continues to rise. Even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Friends, enemies, lovers. Everyone at the Besaith War College has an agenda, because once you enter, there are only 2 ways out. Graduate or die. Graduate or die. But I'm not seeing as much sex as I thought. But I'm assuming there's, I'm going to Google how much sex is in 4th grade.
All right. Well, so this is what he's reading. So you're going to have we could be onto something here with our Goodreads account.
This might be. Oh. Spoiler alert. Turn your ears off if you're listening. Do you want me to spoil it for you, or do you want Ryan to be able to tell you? Okay. As I predicted, Xaden and what's-her-face.
Okay.
Pop, like, love each other, get into it. There are 2 very graphic sex scenes, both of which are multiple pages long and describe the you-know-what in such detail that readers will get a full anatomy course by the end. So Ryan is home alone reading fairy porn right now while we're talking about a book filled with, like with death, sadness, infertility. He's reading dragon sex. Perfect. Good for him. Perfect. Cheers, Ryan. Good choice.
I hear that's really popular series.
Well, we're going to have to get you into like one of those.
He'll give stay tuned on our Goodreads.
Yeah, maybe he'll come on and give us a book review of that.
He would be happy to.
Yeah, he loves it. Yeah.
Yeah, he he was like, I hope you guys get one that maybe I'll want to read. So like, he wants to be part of our book club.
Basically, we need to pick like a book that like 20, 30 something like married women with kids are reading in secret in their bathtubs. That's what Ryan wants to read.
That's funny. Yeah, he was like, I didn't realize what it was. He's like, it was really highly like rated on Goodreads.
By whom?
I don't know.
The female teachers in his job?
Probably. That's who he's
like Ryan. Think about it. But you want to know what? Good for you. He's going to have a whole new set of skills.
Great.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I think we have a long ways to go with our genres.
Yes. And should we announce the next novel? Yeah, but I forget the name. I'll pull it up so that we don't say it wrong.
Good post for those two guys. So.
Yeah, and we'll share the book, what it looks like, so you know you're reading the right one and that you're reading the right one in the series.
It's part of the series.
It's a part of a trio of series, right? Like a trilogy? A trilogy, right?
I like that.
So this is a rom-com. There's a little bit of action in it, but it's mostly romantic, sexy comedy-ish. And it is by Lucy Score, who's amazing. If you've read any of her books, she's great. This is Things We Never Got Over. It's the Knock 'Em Out #1 book. So if you're looking for it, it's the Knock 'Em Out series. It's #1. It's a blue cover with daisies. You'll find out why.
Oh, great. No spoilers.
But, this is like pretty, like, the one thing in the series that I'm going to give away is like each person gets a nickname that isn't their name.
Okay.
So you'll see what I mean.
All right.
But it's like
Danielle
steamy.
has listened to this book before
Yes, I have listened to this book previously.
So some of us have to play catch.
But I'm going to actually like physically read it this time.
Right.
Because I get more sometimes out of reading. It was just that
I probably forgot half of it.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, I listened to the trilogy. That's like in January I did that.
Yeah, I think I'm interested. It's a big book. Thick book.
Thick. Just like some other things in the book.
Great.
Wink, wink. I'm not a great winker, so that was probably really awkward. Sorry.
Well, that's all right. But this is our first book recap. We hope that you guys enjoyed it.
So on average, it was like a 2.75 star.
Yeah, we'll have to like find a way to like rate all of the books that we do. We're gonna have to upgrade our website a little bit with like some books.
Yeah, and like we'll put it like and say like what was your overall rating? We'll give it a rating.
We can put our Goodreads on there.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to come up with a really fun name for mine and Ryan's. Instead of it saying Ryan, I'll come up with like a joint name.
Yeah, a joint name. Because Ryan is the like freak. Who knew?
Everyone that knows him.
Everyone. Well, it's great.
I know.
Maybe if we're really lucky, we'll get Jordan to read a book. Never. He's never read a book from start to finish.
I believe that, but he's walking right by.
And he just told us.
That's what I said to Jordan, and Danielle dragged
her in. This is like the second book I've made you actually read. Then the rest were lies, as you told me. So you read Atomic Habits, though, right?
I read Atomic Habits.
Yes, this is the second book you've read with me. But the rest you lied about.
Yes.
Great.
It was one.
One book. Okay, fine. It was kind of like
it was the most important of the three, but like it's fine.
It's fine. So we're excited to do another book review with you guys. We're going to start reading this one. We'll start posting some stuff, and then we'll do another episode. And if you guys ever want to join us live and give us your feedback, let us know.
We're happy to hang.
2.75
final rating.
Final rating.
See you guys next time.
Bye.